The radio, people kid about Indiana, and the weather is not the greatest at times. It gets very cold up here. And so the radio became, what's the word, honey? The radio became our...
I have it over here.
Ticket to the broader world, to the broader, and
Bill lived beside of a railroad track, and you talk about when he was 9 or 10. Yeah. He would watch that railroad track by his house that he then lived in, and he would think, I could get on that train, and I could go to Atlanta, Georgia, and I could, And as a kid, just sitting there saying, I could have, I could go there.
Yeah. I am very defensive about the South, and I'm a Yankee, from Indiana, but Gloria knows this. I'm Southern in so many ways. Cracker Barrel is still my favorite. That's it. I love the food, and Mom was a Southern cook, and I love the music, the gospel music, and the country music. I can remember first hearing, Hank Williams, doing "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry" and all that stuff. And I'm a product of that. It's a mixture of all that. Then I went to college and heard classical music. I went, ooh, there's some other people write songs too, right? And
you were also into black gospel early on.
And I've had black gospel. I've had black friends in my house, and they look at my library and they say, "Man, you knew a little bit about black gospel too, right?" Because I had so many of the things. In fact, I kidded Bishop Jakes when we did a video with him. They were singing, "I thank you, Lord, I thank you, Lord." And he said, where'd that come from? I said, "Bishop, tell me you know where that." He said, I never heard that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I said, "You have neglected your black gospel music heritage," because that comes from Matty Moss Clark in Detroit. So I was all over the place culturally, but you are right. I looked at that train, and I finally, in 1953, got on a train from Anderson.
Oh, wow.
And went all the way to Dallas, Texas. Wow. Jimmy Grisham picked me up. He worked in a warehouse and sang in one of the quartets. And for 3 weeks, I was at the Stamps School of Music with 600 kids who knew how to sing harmony.
How old were you, 17?
I would have been 17. And I came back the following year, 2 terms, 53 and 54.
2 terms.
Yeah.
That would be Truman and Eisenhower for you listening. 2 terms.
But so many life-changing things for me. And, of course, meeting Gloria. And I was 27. I was not looking. I was enjoying a single life. And I met this sweet lady. And something inside of me said, if you let her get away, you're going to be sorry. And I listened to that voice.
Some days you wish you had.
No.
Honestly, the song, I heard it first on the radio. Yeah. I wrote because of hearing Bill's story. Mm-hmm. And of all the songs, the lyrics I've ever written, that one was one of the hardest because I had to take all the titles of those songs and turn them into a story and poetry. To fix music, but that was my tribute to his love growing up of the radio.
That's good. Wow.
I still love that song.
Me too.
And I heard